نحمده ونصلي على رسول الكريم ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له ونشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. Respected viewers and listeners, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. In continuation of our Quranic understanding program, today we shall try to learn 3 more verses from chapter number 4, that's Nisa, starting from verse number 19. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا أيها الذين آمنوا, O those who believe, لا يحل لكم, it is not lawful for you, أن ترثوا النساء كرها, that you inherit women by compulsion or by force. ولا تعذلوهن, and don't create difficulties for them. لتذهبوا ببعض ما آتيتموهن, with an intention of taking back something which you had given them. Illa, except أن يأتين بفاحشة مبينة, if they indulge in an open and manifest immorality. وعاشروهن بالمعروف, and live with them honorably and with kindness. فإن كرهتموهن, maybe if you dislike them, فعسى أن تكرهوا شيئا, فإن كرهتموهن, if you dislike them, فعسى أن تكرهوا شيئا, maybe a thing you dislike, ويجعل الله فيه خيرا كثيرا, and Allah might have kept in that thing you hate abundant good for you. When أردتم, if you intend or wish, استبدال زوج مكان زوج, to change one wife with another. وآتيتم إحداهن قنطارا, and if you are given any of them wealth or gifts, heaps of it, a large amount of money, فلا تأخذوا منه, don't share, don't take anything from them back. أتأخذونه بهتانا وإثما مبينا, will you take back with slander and a manifest sin? وكيف تأخذونه, and how can you take back anything from them? وقد أفضى بعضكم إلى بعض, when you have gone in to each other. وأخذنا منكم ميثاقا غليظا, and they have taken from you a strong pledge. ولا تنكحوا, and do not marry or believers, ما نكح أباكم, those women whom your fathers had married, من النساء of the women, إلا ما قد سلف, except what has happened in the past. إنه كان فاحشا, surely it is an immoral act, ومقتا, and a hateful thing, وساء سبيلا, and a very evil way. حرمت عليكم, O believers, forbidden to you are in marriage أمهاتكم, your mothers, وبناتكم, and your daughters, وأخواتكم, and your sisters, وأماتكم, and the sisters of your fathers, وخالاتكم, and the sisters of your mothers, وبنات الأخ, and unlawful in marriage are for you daughters of your brothers, وبنات الأخت, and daughters of your sisters, وأمهاتكم اللاتي أرضعنكم, and unlawful to you in marriage are those mothers who have nursed you, or your milk mothers, foster mothers, التي أرضعنكم, who have nursed you. وأخواتكم من الرضاعة, similarly those foster sisters are also forbidden to you in marriage. وأمهات نسائكم, and who are forbidden to you in marriage are mothers of your wives. وربائبكم اللاتي في حجوركم من نسائكم, and your daughters of your wives who are your ward, and who were born of your wives. وربائبكم اللاتي في حجوركم اللاتي دخلتم بهن, but only those in which, with whom you have gone in, that means with whom marriage has solemnized. فإن لم يتكونوا دخلتم بهن, if you have not gone in to them, فلا جناح عليكم, then there must blame or sin upon you. وحلائل أبنائكم, and unlawful in marriage to you or the wives of your sons, الَّذِينَ مِنْ أَصْحَابِكُمْ, who are your sons by your loins. وَأَنْ تَجْمَعُوا بَيْنَ الْأُخْتَيْنِ, and unlawful for you is to join two sisters simultaneously in marriage. إِلَّا مَا قَدْ سَلَفَ, except what has occurred in the past. إِنَّ اللَّهَ كَانَ غَفُورًا, surely Allah is all forgiving, Rahima, the most merciful. Sadaqallahul Azim. We talked about some aspects of this verse, that was number 19, even before. What was the traditions and how Islam reformed the whole world. It reformed the social structure. It gave a perfect moral, social, political system in a society who didn't know what is morality. They didn't have any perfect social structure, nor any political unity or political entity they have. Imagine, as I told you last time, from historical point of view, as Quran also highlights, that women had no rights at all. They couldn't specifically talk about in the context of what we're studying about, that law of inheritance. We have been studying for quite some time. As far as the law of inheritance is concerned, how come a woman could get inheritance when a woman herself was considered a commodity and an inheritance? That means when a person would die, since polygamy was a rule, he had 3, 4, or even more, many dozens of wives. After his death, the way his property, estate which he left behind were divided proportionately in his legal heirs. That means only sons, no sisters, daughters, wives had no share at all. Like that, even the wives left behind by the deceased were considered to be an inheritance, and they were also distributed among the legal heirs. That means sons would become the masters of their mothers. Imagine. Of course, except she's the real mother. And to this extent, that sons could even marry them. They used to sometimes get married to their, imagine step-mothers, they used to get married to their mothers. And they turned out to be, the sons became their masters. Quran said this inhuman, this unnatural, this immoral. How come? So Quran had to reform everything in this world. Imagine, this is not 24th century we're talking about, 1400 years back. Even in 7th century AD. And that too in Arabia, which was cut off from the rest of the world. And condition of the social structure of other countries was not so better than that. But Quran had to make a system, perfect system, based on the laws of morality and laws of social, establishing its permanent social structure. In this context, we have to learn this, try to understand these verses which we are studying today. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, O those who believe, la yahillu lakum. It's not lawful for you. It's not good for you. In other words, it's prohibited to you. And tarisun nisa karha, that you inherit women by compulsion or force. That means your fathers die, and his wife and those wives, you inherit, like the way you inherit property, estate, and what he has left behind, and you inherit his wives also. This is unlawful. With this announcement, a new system arose based on perfect morality. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, O those who believe, la yahillu lakum, it's not lawful for you. And tarisun nisa karha, that you inherit women forcefully or by compulsion. Imagine mothers becoming wives of their sons. Imagine. Of course, other than his real mother. That's it. That means stepmothers, they are too. Quran declares them also mothers are unlawful for children, which we'll see in the next verse. So they are like our mothers. Imagine the height of immorality prevalent. Then Quran says another, this very important point, then وَلَا تَعْضُلُوهُنَّ, and do not tease them, do not harm them, do not create difficulties there for women. لِتَذْهَبُوا بِبَعْضِ مَا آتَيْتُمُوهُنَّ, to take away something out of what you had provided them. That it was also bad practice. This unfortunately even happening now in Muslim communities. Our heads should bow in shame. That means if there's a difference of opinion between husband and wife, it used to be, it was prevalent in Arab, that the Jahiliyyah, that era of ignorance. Islam prohibited it, made announced an ordinance against it. But still, even we sometimes indulge in this. That means difference of opinion between husband and wife. Husband doesn't like his wife, or he wants to get rid of wife, but doesn't divorce her. Creates problems for her, one way or the other. Makes her life uneasy, uncomfortable. Creates problems by beatings and hurting her feelings, talking ill about her or her parents and everything, like anything, or doesn't pay her due, what is due to her, the rights which are due to her as wife. Why for? So that she is forced to seek divorce for the husband. And in that case, man would see, okay, so she's asking for divorce, so that means she has to surrender a part of her mahar or right. Then only can release her. The intention behind it, in fact, husband doesn't like wife. He wants to get rid of her, but he creates conditions, circumstances. While the life of his wife becomes uncomfortable, she's always in a horror-like situation, always frightened, uneasy. With what purpose? So that you take away something back, because even under Islamic law, Quranic law, if husband doesn't want to divorce his wife, but wife seeks divorce, wife is comfortable with her husband, so she can ask for divorce, yes. But in that case, she has to surrender some of her rights, like mahar or gifts, whatever she might have received from her husband. She has surrendered whole or part of it. It was prevalent. But imagine this exploitation. Exploitation. This is a situation where Quran says that وَلَا تَعْدُلُوهُنَّ, don't create difficulties for the women. Don't make their life uncomfortable. Don't hurt their feelings. Don't create the circumstances wherein, though intention that you don't like them, you want to divorce, but you are creating circumstances that she demands separation or divorce, and you get an excuse that not only I have to give nothing to her, but she has to surrender a part of her right. This is not just exploitation of Islam. This is unbecoming of a Muslim, of a true believer. This is something very bad, though it was brought in era of ignorance. Quran abolishes it, though you should never do it. Unfortunately, due to our ignorance, our deliberate attempts, we are practicing the same now. That's why Quran says, وَلَا تَعْدُلُوهُنَّ, don't create problems for them, difficulties for your wives. لِتَذْهَبُوا, with this intention, that you may take back بِبَعْدِ مَا آتَيْتُمُوهُنَّ, something of what you had given them already. Illa, of course, if they indulge in open immorality. That open immorality is, in fact, means if they indulge in sexual relations with other than with her husband. In that case, yes, there's a reprimand, there's a penalty. Some rights, she will be divorced, she has to surrender some part of it that is there, but in normal circumstances not. Then Quran advises, which religion, Islam, which is generally blamed as misogynistic in Western world, their eyes should open. Quran time and again says, وَعَاشِرُهُنَّ بِالْمَعْرُوفِ, enjoy life with them in kindness and with honor. Live with them honorably, with due honor for you and for your was due honor, due respect, due kindness. Live with that. That's why Prophet, peace be upon him, used to say, best amongst you, or my followers, best amongst you is one who is best to his wife. And then he would quote, see, I am best with my wives. So I am an example for you. But see, in this mirror, if we see ourselves, we may be good to one and all. Coming out of our house with friends, neighbors, acquaintances, everybody around, we are good. Coming back to house, we are so rude, so crude, so hard to our wives. This is not a true picture of a believer. Best, that Prophet said, we have to be best amongst you is one who is good, kind, and who gives due respect and due honor to his wife. That's the characteristic of a true believer. That's what Quran says. وَآشِرُونَ بِالْمَعْرُوفِ. You live with them honorably and live with them with due kindness. Because you are your husband, your wife, of course, she has to be obedient, she has to be faithful, she has to be good to you and good to the house. But she deserves love, affection, care, and kindness, which has to come from you. You have to insist on your husband. Al-Rijalu Qawwamuna 'ala Nisa is a verse in this verse. So yes, since you are the head of the family, you have to take care of everybody, starting from your wife. وَآشِرُونَ بِالْمَعْرُوفِ. Live with them with due honor or honorably and with due kindness. فَإِنْ كَرِهْتُمُوهُنَّ. See how Quran avoids the separation. The separation is the last result or divorce. Islam doesn't recommend it. Islam discourages it. But once it becomes a necessity, then one has to separate. There's no alternative, no option but to separate. But we should try to avoid it. Quran says, فَإِنْ كَرِهْتُمُوهُنَّ. O men, if you dislike them, that your women, your wives are not up to the mark, whether from extra appearance, your wife may not be as beautiful as you see women around, or she doesn't have those characteristics which you would like, you may hate, but still that doesn't demand separation. Try to understand the meanings. If you dislike them, maybe a thing you dislike, some characteristic in her you may dislike. Allah may have kept in that for you abundant good. So forgive, forget, overlook. Don't go only for this. You hate a certain thing, whether her beauty, extra appearance, or some bad thing which you don't like. That should not result in separation and tensions and frustrations, fightings and quarrelings. No. Quran says, وَآشِرُونَ بِالْمَعْرُوفِ. Oh believers, you are true. Imagine, this is divine command. This comes through revelation from Allah the Almighty and conveyed to us through our beloved Prophet, peace be upon him. That ashiruna bil ma'ruf. Live with them, live with honor and respect, with due kindness. If you dislike them, your wives, maybe a thing you dislike, Allah might have kept in that abundant good for you. So forget, overlook. Then another ordinance. When if you intend or wish to take another wife in place of one, that means you have wife now. It doesn't mean that changing wives with a stroke of pen or with a single word, you're gone, I change wife, I get another and then get married, divorce another and get third one. It's not like that. For that, we have to understand the rest of the as explained in Quran. If you intend or wish to change a wife with another, that means there's no possibility of reconciliation. You change one, you divorce your wife and would like to marry another woman and take her in your wedlock. But how? It's not just with a stroke of pen or just verbal declaration. There's a due course for that. As Quran explains in this chapter, so we shall soon, inshallah, maybe tomorrow or next day, we'll read such sources in Quran. That if you see something bad, don't go for divorce. Don't go for divorce. Faizuhunna, Quran says, it is in this chapter itself. It is here, verse number 34, chapter An-Nisa, that if you fear some arrogance or some bad features in your wife and you are not in a position to live together comfortably, then Quran says, تَخَافُنَّ نُشُوزَهُنَّ فَائِزُهُنَّ. Give them good advice. Make her understand what is good and what is bad. Don't start with divorce. Then then after, if she doesn't set herself right, وَهْجُرْهُنَّ فِي الْمَضَاجِعِ. Then separate your beds. Don't sleep together. That's just an indication that we have to be careful. Maybe this temporary separation may result and may lead to permanent separation. So don't go for divorce then. Even if you have to use some slight force, a mild force, for what for? Just to avoid divorce. Even that doesn't work. Then Quran has, well, it's not just, as this verse says, what we are studying today, if you wish to change one wife with another and do this and that, and just with a second or minute to do it. No, there's a system for that. Quran says if it doesn't work, your advice doesn't work, your temporary separation of your beds or bedrooms doesn't work, and you're using some strike or some slight force, even that doesn't work in the chapter itself. This was number 35. If you still see no signs of reconciliation between, then what do? فَبَعْثُ حَكَمًا مِنْ أَهْلِهِ. Then appoint an arbitrator, a wise man, an arbitrator from his side, his husband's side. وَحَكَمًا مِنْ أَهْلِهَا. And an arbitrator, a man of wisdom from her, that's women's wife's side. And then let them try to make all the efforts of reconciliation. And maybe Al-Quran says, if they intend to make some amend and make them reconcile, Allah will also help them, and there will be reconciliation. When all these factors are done, and nothing doing, husband and wife not ready to live together comfortably, then starts the process of divorce. And then also Quran says, which we have read in Al-Baqarah, and I have explained that time. It's in Al-Baqarah, here in Nisa, and then also Surah At-Talaq. That one talaq is to be pronounced in starting of the month. And talaq is not to be pronounced during menstruation cycle. That's not valid. During purity period, only one time. In that period where men and women have not husband and wife have not slept together, then wait for a month. And wife has to live in husband's house for that month. And not only that, in Hadith Prophet says that during that month, if they are separate, living in separate rooms, but under the same roof, in the same house, husband cannot expel her from her house. From his house, nor is wife allowed to move out of the house. She has to live for that month. And during that, let her wear good clothes, use scents and other things. Just go for makeups. Maybe it creates some sort of attraction between the two, husband and wife, and everything done as if nothing had happened. And if that doesn't work, then second talaq will be pronounced on the second pure period after the menstruation cycle, and then go for separation in due course. That is it. Don't take it just this was as you see here. You take it just when aratum mustibdala zawjim makana zawj. If you wish or intend to change one wife with another, then do this thing. It's not, you have to follow the definite course as prescribed. This is a Quranic injunction, right? And that is the explanation how to do it. Now you want to change, right? You want to change it. How should you change? Not of your own, but according to the system set by Quran. That's perfect system as they give just in a nutshell, in the outline of give. It's not in a hush. And then Quran says, if you want to change a wife with another, okay, you can. Then وَآتَيْتُمْ إِحْدَاهُمَا قِنْطَارًا. The wife from whom you separate, you divorce her. Even if you have given her mahar or gifts of large amount of money, whether gold ornaments, were her dresses, or cash, or anything you might have given her, فَلَا تَأْخُذُوا مِنْهَا. Don't take that back from her. Even when you divorce, don't be so mean that you take anything, whatever. If you intend to change one wife with another, وَآتَيْتُمْ إِحْدَاهُمَا قِنْطَارًا, and you may have given the first wife whom you are divorcing large amounts of money, gifts and anything. فَلَا تَأْخُذُوا مِنْهُ شَيْئًا. Don't take anything back from her. أَتَأْخُذُونَهُ بُهْتَانًا وَإِثْمًا مُبِينًا? Quran says, are you going to take back by slander, by targeting image, and Isma Mubina and manifest sin? That means it's a sinful action you are doing. If you ask your wife that I'm divorcing, give me everything back I have given you. It's not. Quran says, وَكَيْفَ تَأْخُذُونَهُ? How can you take back anything from her? وَقَدْ أَفْضَى بَعْضُكُمْ إِلَىٰ بَعْضٍ. When you have gone into each other, that means when you have enjoyed together, you have developed so much intimacy, you have lived together. If I'm allowed to say, you have slept together, you have made enjoyments of each other, and now you are separating. So are you then asking her to give me back what you have given? This is mean mentality. This unbecoming of a believer, of a Muslim. And how come? It's not possible. It's like this. If you have a friend, you have friendship with somebody, and during friendship you give him gifts, and he gives you gifts, maybe. And if friendship can break any time, isn't it? So imagine you break friendship, then you go to their friend's house, knocking at the door, calling the bell, or calling him on telephone. Okay, there's no friendship anymore. But last year I got a shirt for you. Give me that back. 3 years back, he will tell, no, I too had bought a special mobile phone for you. Give me back. How mean it will look. It's between two friends. We can in time break. You can make and break sometimes. But imagine husband, wife, the most intimate relation. They enjoy, they share anything. They share their apparent life and secret life, everything together. Day, night. Nothing hidden. Not in each other's body, not each other's ideas, nothing. And then maybe due to one reason or the other, marriage may not work, and it may result in separation. And I said, can you imagine how come? You cannot ask that from your friend anything back, a gift you had given, and you will ask your wife to get back. And it is happening, unfortunately, it is happening in Muslim communities. Despite this open instruction, divine instructions, which laid the foundations of morality and social structure. How come? That's why Prophet, peace be upon him, used to say that a person who gives somebody gift is I take something in my hand, I give it to somebody. When he takes it all, I give it with my free will and consent, and he takes possession. Now I have no right. I lose all the rights over it. It is his property now. I can't take it back because he's taken it in its possession. Prophet, peace be upon him, said a person who gives some gift to somebody, friend or anybody, then after some time, if he takes back, asks the gift to be given back, Prophet, peace be upon him, said that such a person is comparable to a dog. Prophet compared him with a dog who vomits, because dog is the only animal. When he vomits, that whatever eaten him sometimes due to sickness or some problem, he vomits it. And then he eats that back. What is vomited, he eats back. Such a man who gives somebody a gift and after some time takes it back, he is comparable to this dog. Because dog is the only animal who, when he vomits, he eats that vomit again. Imagine how this between friends and brothers and others acquaintances. What about between husband and wife? See. Now we have to understand that too. Such foundations were laid 1400 years back, when nobody knew these standards of morality. Quran guided on all the phases of life, on all the dimensions of life, small or big, private or public, husband and wife, brothers and sisters, on every point. When the Muslim Talas of the Makhanat, if you wish or intend to change one wife with another, okay. But of course, following the due course, prescribed norms. Then وَآتَيْتُمْ إِيدَهُمَا كِنْتَارًا, and you might have given a big amount, large gifts to your wife. فَلَا تَأْخُذُوا مِنْهُ شَيْئًا, don't take anything back from her. أَتَأْخُذُونَهُ بُهْتَانًا وَإِثْمًا مُبِينًا, will you take back, ask anything back from her by slander and manifest sin? وكيف تأخذونه? How can you ask anything back? How can you take anything back? وقد أفضى بعضكم إلى بعض. When you have gone on it, when you have lived so intimate life, you have enjoyed together, lived together, slept together, eaten together, sat together, everything together. How come just with breaking off that you'll start asking back anything gifts you might have given? وَأَخَذْنَا مِنْكُمْ مِيثَاقًا غَلِيظًا. And how come can you take anything back when they have taken that your wives have to make strong pledge, a strong covenant from you? Strong covenant here means marriage. Marriage is a lifelong bond, a strong pledge between husband and wife. And despite that pledge, do you really ask anything back from her? Any gift you might have given her? Simply you are separating. This is not the picture of a Muslim. I think we stop here, and inshallah next time we'll go further, because very important, some divine instructions are coming in the next verse. صدق الله العظيم وصدق رسوله النبي الكريم والحمد لله رب العالمين.